Sometimes, a woman's desire doesn't rise softly. It strikes like a forbidden spark, sudden, magnetic, and quietly dangerous. And when she looks at an older man, really looks, she isn't searching for youth or perfection. She's searching for something deeper, something sharper, something she can feel before she can fully name it, because attraction isn't always physical. Sometimes it's psychological, rooted in the parts of her that crave safety and danger at the same time. Welcome to Psychology of Desire. And if you're new here, make sure you subscribe. Because every week, we dive into the truths people feel but never confess out loud. Now let's unravel this. You're not here by coincidence. Something already tells you that women don't fall for older men without reason. There are emotional signatures, patterns that run deeper than age or appearance. And when a woman wants to sleep with an older man, it's rarely accidental. It's triggered, activated, awakened by something he carries in silence. The first type of older man women crave is the man who radiates calm in a world full of noise. She feels it the moment she steps near him. Nothing about him is rushed. He doesn't argue to prove a point, doesn't panic to impress, doesn't bend for approval. His presence feels like stepping out of a storm and finding shelter she didn't know she needed. It's not the calm of indifference. It's the calm of control. A man who doesn't need to shout to be felt. This is the kind of energy that makes a woman's nervous system exhale. Her mind softens. Her guard lowers. Her desire wakes up. Because women aren't drawn to chaos. They're drawn to the man who can quiet the chaos inside them. The second type is the man with emotional scars, not the loud, dramatic ones, but the subtle, invisible ones only maturity creates. Women can sense when a man has lived, lost, learned, and survived. There is a gravity to him, a depth that can't be faked. He listens differently. He speaks with intention. His silence carries meaning. A woman doesn't desire a perfect man. She desires a man who understands. A man who has been through darkness but didn't let it destroy him. Because a man who has suffered and rebuilt himself knows how to hold her without breaking her. The third type is the older man whose eyes tell more than his words. He doesn't brag. He doesn't perform. He doesn't chase validation. His confidence is quiet, not loud. It's the confidence of someone who has nothing left to prove. And that is precisely what makes him irresistible. Women notice this instantly. The way he looks at her like he sees through the mask she shows the world. The way he speaks with a certainty that makes her feel safe, and a subtle dominance that makes her feel desired. It's a rare balance, soft enough to open her, strong enough to steady her. Most men try too hard. Older men like him don't try at all, and that's exactly why she wants him. The fourth type is the man who carries mystery instead of anxiety. Young men hide secrets out of fear. Older men keep their mystery because they know not everything needs to be shared. And this makes a woman lean in, curious, intrigued, drawn to the emotional shadows he keeps tucked behind his calm exterior. Because mystery isn't about being distant. It's about being unreadable in a way that makes her want to read more. The fifth type of older man women secretly crave is the one who carries effortless dominance. Not the loud, aggressive kind, but the kind you feel in the way he stands, speaks, and watches. It's the dominance of a man who knows exactly who he is, who doesn't chase, doesn't beg, doesn't compete. A man whose self-control is more seductive than any physical gesture. Women sense it instantly. The way he moves with certainty. The way he chooses his words with precision. The way he looks at her, not up, not down, but through her, straight into the part of her that wants to surrender. Not because she's weak, but because she finally feels safe enough to let go. This kind of older man doesn't try to dominate her life. He dominates the moment. And that is a power most women feel before they even understand it. The sixth type is the older man who carries purpose, not ambition, purpose. He isn't running in circles trying to prove his worth. He's grounded, focused, aligned with something bigger than himself. A woman feels the force of a man with direction, because direction creates stability, and stability creates desire. You'll notice something about this type of man. He doesn't waste words, he doesn't waste time, he doesn't waste energy. And a woman can feel when she's in the presence of a man whose life has clarity. His purpose becomes the architecture of his power, and in his presence, she feels her own life sharpen. Because desire grows where purpose exists. Chaos kills attraction. But structure? Structure makes her melt. And then, there's the seventh type, the most dangerous one. The older man who understands women not from manipulation, but from observation. He watches without judging. He listens without interrupting. He reads the emotions she hides, the fears she protects, the desires she tries to bury under politeness. He sees her, not the version she shows the world, but the one behind the eyes, the one behind the smile, the one she's almost afraid to reveal. And that is the deepest trigger of all. Because when a woman feels understood, her desire shifts from curiosity to longing. She doesn't want him because of his age. She wants him because of his awareness, because of the way he makes her feel seen, felt, understood, and wanted on a level most men can't reach. Older men like him don't seduce with lines. They seduce with presence, with patience, with depth, with a psychological warmth that pulls her closer even when she tries to convince herself she shouldn't want him. And that's the truth most women won't say out loud. The men they desire the most are the ones who awaken a part of them they didn't know was waiting. But here's the part almost no one talks about. A woman doesn't just want an older man for who he is. She wants him for who she becomes in his presence. That's the hidden layer of this psychology. The emotional undercurrent, the dark, unspoken truth. Around younger men, she often feels like she has to perform. To be cute enough, exciting enough, dramatic enough. But with the right older man, she feels something entirely different. She feels soft, she feels feminine. She feels safe enough to let her guard down and show the parts of herself she usually hides. Because the older man she desires doesn't rush to impress her. He doesn't crumble at the first sign of silence. He doesn't fear her emotions. He understands them, almost intuitively. And that calm understanding changes her, transforms her, pulls her into a version of herself that is more vulnerable and more powerful. The kind of older man a woman wants to sleep with is the one who knows how to make her feel without overwhelming her. His touch doesn't need explanation. His presence doesn't need permission. When she is near him, her body reacts before her mind has time to analyze. Because desire isn't logical. It's biological, psychological, emotional. It's the unspoken language two people feel long before they ever admit it. That's why the older man she craves the most isn't perfect. He's not flawless, rich, or impossibly handsome. What he is consistent, emotionally stable, sure of himself. He's a man who has lived long enough to understand what matters and wise enough to let go of what doesn't. He doesn't get jealous easily. He doesn't argue to win. He doesn't panic when she tests him. He's seen too much, learned too much, grown too much. And that emotional maturity creates a silent pull so strong she feels it in her chest, in her breath, in the places she tries to ignore. Women don't want older men because of age. They want them because of emotional weight, because of psychological strength, because of a presence that feels like protection and temptation combined. This is why even the most emotionally guarded women often slip when they meet the right older man. He awakens her femininity, her curiosity, her hunger to feel chosen by someone who actually understands her. And deep down, she knows something most men don't understand. You can't fake maturity. You can't pretend stability. You can't imitate presence. A woman can sense a real man the way she senses a shift in the weather. Quiet, invisible, unmistakable. And when that older man finally touches her, emotionally or physically, her entire nervous system reacts. Not because she's weak, but because she finally feels something she's been denied for years. A man who knows what he's doing, with her body, with her mind, with her heart. And here's the final truth. The one most women will never confess, not even to their closest friend. The older man she truly wants to sleep with is the one who makes her feel chosen, not chased. Because when he chooses her, it feels intentional, deliberate, measured. It's not youthful impulse or hormonal excitement. It's desire rooted in clarity. And that clarity hits her deeper than physical attraction ever could. You see, a younger man desires her body. An older man desires her essence, her energy, her presence, her softness, and her fire, both at once. He doesn't rush. He doesn't stumble. He doesn't hide behind games. He gives her the one thing younger men rarely understand, a slow-burning attention that feels like undressing her soul. And that's why she can't forget him, why he lingers in her thoughts, why the memory of him feels warmer than the touch of anyone else. Because when an older man wants her, he doesn't make her feel like an option, he makes her feel like a moment he's fully present in, a moment he's choosing, a moment he won't waste. And when she finally gives in, when she lets go and allows herself to want him, the attraction becomes psychological rather than physical. The way he whispers without raising his voice, the way he touches without rushing, the way he looks at her like he's memorizing more than her face. She feels understood, desired, seen, not for who she pretends to be, but for who she is beneath the layers. That is why women crave older men in ways they rarely talk about. Not because of money, but because of mastery. Not because of age, but because of awareness. Not because of maturity, but because of the emotional effect he has on her body and mind. An older man who knows himself awakens a woman who wants to be known. And that is the deepest seduction of all. Thank you for watching Psychology of Desire. If this video opened your eyes, if it made you feel seen or understood, don't forget to subscribe, because there's so much more to uncover about human desire, relationships, and the hidden psychology that shapes them.